So, part 10. So, in an effort to not be redundant, I'm not going to repeat the last thing. I'm trying to get this thing together, right? Please, I was supposed to have started my hair hours ago, and I'm still doing this. So, let's get to it. Part 10. How I got scammed by my Nigerian husband. And mind you, we still in the first flipping year of the marriage. Let me put that out there. But with all that being said, let's keep it moving. So, the friend, his sister tells me that, it's a friend of his. So, I don't know, the other two sisters that was at the hospital with him called me and said that he was out of the surgery, but he was still a little woozy, but he wanted to talk to me. So I said, okay, cool. So I'm talking to him, and I'm like, are you okay? I really thought I lost you. And I am distraught. And he's like, because he's fresh out of surgery, still low-key high on the drugs and stuff. And I said, as soon as, get some rest, heal, I'm going to call you tomorrow. Where's your phone at? He's like, so-and-so has my phone, and it needed to be charged, so they were going to take to charge it and bring it back to him. So I was like, okay, as soon as they get the phone to you, if you're feeling up to it, please call me. I'm very concerned, And so he's like, yeah. And so I accept that, yeah, and not try to be paranoid about it. Like, what does that mean? Do you think I did? Because I get that way sometimes. But no, I just was like, okay, I'm respecting it. You're hurting. You're a little drugged up. It's cool. Go to sleep. Relax. Rest. Get better. Because I want to know what the heck, happened. So, I don't know. I think it was like the next day, the sisters called me and was telling me that he was okay, and that they wanted to give him a blood transfusion. He was refusing the blood transfusion and all of that stuff. And as a person that has had in the past severe anemia and had to have and get a blood transfusion, I just, for the life of me, didn't understand why he wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? But what can I really say? And, yeah, so there's nothing I can really say about that. He talked to me very, very briefly that day. He was just saying, I'm like, are you okay? What do you need? What can I get for you? This, and this. And he was like, it's nothing you can really do. You owe it over there. He was just like, I'm probably going to go home tomorrow. And then he said, then I can, sit and talk to you about what happened and whatever. I said, okay. But I had already kind of got a brief synopsis from between the three sisters. They each had a little piece. I guess he had talked about it some, or people had came by and told them this or that. So I already had a brief synopsis of the situation. But of course I want to hear it from him, right? So according to their story, he got into an argument with a friend of his that lived near him. And I said, well, do y'all know his name? And they were going back and forth with a couple of his friends who were there. And they was like, it was Fred. Do you know Fred? So I'm like, FML. Because I already know I'm going to get blamed for this crap. I'm just trying to figure out how he's going to come at me and how am I going to combat that. You know what I mean? So he finally gets home the next day. He's with a group of his friends, okay? So the sisters are coming by, of course, because his hand is all bandaged up. He can't use his hand at all, and it's his dominant hand. And so, of course, and I hate to sound like a blank, but I know that he was milking it to death. He can't bathe himself, he can't cook for himself, he can't clean for himself, he can't do anything for himself. Now, I have had a broken ankle, toes, fingers, ribs, and I still had to get up and move around. I've had broken fingers before. Now, I get those not almost severed fingers, but I've still been able to move around. I have given birth to 3 children, the oldest of which was 11 pounds, 4 ounces. Big kids. And I had to still get up. But he was kind of milking that situation. You know what I mean? Having I'm not going to go there with it because I went there with it in the book. But he was really kind of milking it a little bit, I feel like, even though everybody needs time to rest and get themselves together. But it's that lazy spirit for me. You know what I mean? Somebody I care very much about got a BBL. And I know that's cosmetic stuff. But myself and her fiance literally has to, we have to talk mean to her. Sit your ass down. Stop messing with stuff. We talk to her like that because she just refuses to sit her butt down and heal, So somebody that does not, have that sort of spirit in them will lay up and have people wiping their behind until the cut is already healed. The stitches have been out for months. They still can't use my own. I don't know. And I'm not trying to make light of it. So if you find that a little bit insensitive, I don't care. It's how I feel. And I'm not going to go back and forth with y'all about it. So with that being said, he talks to me about it and he tells it to me from a different perspective. He tells me that him and Fred got into an argument because Fred had spoke to me and we must have had something going on. That little 7-minute conversation must have been mind-blowing because now I want to be with somebody that's half his size, that's not as attractive as him, but it's funny and he's entertaining. So when he talked, I laughed. When I talked, he laughed. I'm a personable person. I like talking to people. I tell people all day I enjoy the sound of my own voice very much. And I like talking. I like talking to people. I like talking about things. I like talking. I do. And so I like talking to new people as well. I was so excited to give Fred a Newport because he was smoking some weird English cigarettes. And he hit the Newport and he said, "We have been suffering in Nigeria." And that was the funniest thing I'd ever. Man, I had to go on and slide him a pack because he was enjoying that American cigarette. So it was that kind of situation. It was a funny, kiki little situation. It wasn't anything else. But he just insinuated that the conversation had went to something in reference to me. And I clearly put that battery in Fred's back. And so this is why Fred came and attacked him hardcore. But we'll talk about his reason behind doing it and how I know the reason behind doing it in the next part.